Hello, North Crawford. This is Superintendent Brandon Munson. As you probably have figured out, today's daily message is coming to you from our bus garage. And we're going to talk a little bit about transportation today. So first, I'd like to start by taking everybody on a quick little tour of the school bus. So I'll switch my camera here. So what you're going to see is we have outfitted all of our buses with a sanitizing station. So as our students get on the bus, they will sanitize their hands right away. What you'll also see here is most of our buses, the drivers have chosen to have a plexiglass barrier to keep themselves and our students a little bit safer. So those exist on most of our buses. And then finally, we have purchased these infrared touchless thermometers that all of our school buses will have on them as the bus drivers will be taking temperatures. So what we will do is I brought along a special guest with us today. This is Audrey, and she will be a first grader today. So she's going to demonstrate what it's going to look like for our students when they come on the school bus. So what you'll notice first is that her mask is on her face. It's important that we do that. And then she will go ahead and take some hand sanitizer. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to check a quick temperature. So it just takes a real quick second, and there's the readout. So temperature is good. Her hands are sanitized. Her mask is on. And then what we're going to do is she's going to go ahead and load the bus. We'll assume she's the first one on the bus. We're going to load our buses this year from back to front, despite the ages of the kids. So we might have some really young kiddos in the back of the bus, and we might have some older kids in the front of the bus. We're doing that just to eliminate as much extra contact with each other as possible. What you'll also notice is we're going to work on keeping our windows cracked open as much as possible this year on the school buses to promote airflow within the bus to help, again, just with germs and viruses and help increase the airflow throughout the bus. So it would be a good idea to make sure that your child is dressed for the weather, because even on chilly fall mornings, most of the windows on the bus are going to be cracked open a little bit. So please make sure your kids are dressed accordingly for their bus ride. When we unload the bus, we'll unload as we always do from front to back, and the students will enter the building then at that point in time. The appropriate temperature that we're looking for will be 100.4 or below 100.4. If a student comes on the bus and they have a temp of 100.4 or higher, that is considered a fever, which is a symptom of COVID. The driver will likely check that student 2, maybe even 3 times to make sure we're getting an accurate reading on the thermometer. At that point in time, then that student will be sent back into their house and will not be allowed to get on the school bus. That's why it's important for us, for our younger students especially, to make sure that there's a parent at home, or at the very least an older sibling, in the event that we have to send the student back into the house. We don't want to do that and send them home alone. Parents will be contacted right away if they are not home and informed that their child will not be riding the bus to school today, and then you'll be given further instructions at that point in time. Finally, I guess what I would like to say is anytime that you can inform the bus garage, Kevin Burke is our transportation director, inform Mr. Burke of any changes in transportation that would be helpful for planning purposes. We're really going to try to limit the amount of bus notes that we use this year. So parents will have to plan accordingly for parties and things like that. We're just not going to be able to accommodate a lot of those extra stops and routes this year like we have in the past. Please, before school starts next Tuesday, if your child is not planning on riding the bus, please have them get a hold of the bus garage and inform Kevin of your plans on bus riding. Outside of the school buses, the other couple of things I'd like to talk real briefly about is students who do not ride the school bus but instead get dropped off by parents at school. We'll still use our drop-off lane for that. So parents, you can pull into the drop-off lane, drop your child off. We will have staff members available right there in the drop-off lane to take temperatures. Assuming, again, temperatures below 100.4, they come into the building. If it's above that, we'll send them back home in the vehicle. Also, students that drive to school, or maybe younger siblings that ride with older siblings, they will come into the west entrance of the school building on the high school side, and we will have staff members there, again with thermometers checking temperatures and following district protocol. So it's really important for us to know how many students we'll have riding our buses and who will be dropped off, so we can make sure that we're prepared for that. So please contact Kevin in the bus garage at your earliest convenience to let him know what your intentions are for transportation this year. As always, if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will plan on seeing everybody on Wednesday with our next daily update. Thank you.